Hello everyone, welcome to Elite Weather Forecasting. I'm meteorologist Mr. G with you. Happy Thursday everybody. You've almost made it through your work week. We got another day or two to go, and I'm going to let you know what to expect in the weather forecast. Our city of the day is going to be my city where I currently reside, St. Paul, Minnesota, and you can see Minneapolis off in the distance there. I-94 is right outside the on the camera here, and we're looking at downtown St. Paul. The state capital is also in this area, and that is the St. Paul Cathedral over the top of my head there. And it's a beautiful day out there across the Twin Cities and in the upper Midwest in general. Very dry weather today, a little bit on the chilly side, a little cooler than we saw yesterday. We did see those temperatures hit the mid-40s yesterday. Today we're going to get to about the 40-degree mark, but we will enjoy clear skies and very light winds, so it won't feel too exceptionally chilly out there. So that is a bit of good news, and we're going to take that and run with it. But let's move on with the weather forecast and talk about what to expect across the rest of the lower 48 today. So as we look at the weather forecast for the rest of the country today, we're going to start off with the Northeast and take a look at how things are going in the northeastern part of the country. And today, you are going to have a very nice day today with mild weather conditions. A break from the lake effect snow for a change, so that is some good news out there as we see milder air moving into your area from the southwest, but that is in response to an advancing storm system coming up from the south, and that will spread some showers and some thunderstorms and more snow to parts of the interior northeast later on this week and into the weekend, and we'll let you know more about that as we progress through the weather forecast here today. As we can see, as we're going to look at your day for your Friday, that storm system is going to come up from the south and the west, and that's going to spread rain all the way into parts of New England, so Vermont, New Hampshire, all the way down through the Ohio Valley and along the Appalachian mountain range spine there. We're going to see those showers and a little bit of a rain and snow mix in some of the higher elevations, and we're going to see snow right along this cold front here that's expanding down from Canada and the Great Lakes, and that cold front is going to bring with it some cold air and some snow as well as we head into your weekend here. So we could see some snow return to parts of New England, and we're going to see an increase in that wintry precipitation. We do see a rain and snow mix as far as the warmer temperatures, so we're going to keep things just warm enough to cause a mix out there across the Great Lakes and the interior of New England, but down further to the south, closer to the Atlantic Ocean, things will be a bit warmer, so we're going to see rain mostly for those areas. So the big cities, I-95 is going to be under mostly rain, so that's some good news there as well. So no snow or anything to worry about that on your Friday. So the overlook for the weekend, we're going to see a fairly progressive weather pattern with just slight troughing and slight ridging in the east, a trough over the center of the nation, and another long ways ridge over the Pacific. So we're going to see a fairly progressive pattern with frequent storm systems coming on shore over the Pacific Northwest, but quickly moving across the country toward the northeast. We will see some wet weather down from the south and the southeast up through the northeast on your Saturday and Sunday. Dry weather over the central and southern plains, and we're going to see some wet weather along the Pacific coast from the Pacific Northwest through about central California. We'll see some snow through the Rockies and the northern Rockies and parts of the high plains of Montana, but for the most part, chilly conditions over the desert southwest, but it will remain dry for the most part over those regions this weekend. So in the southeast for your Thursday today, we're going to see mainly dry conditions over the southeast. So the Carolinas and Georgia and Florida will see dry weather today. But however, storm system will advance out of the central plains and into the southern plains and Texas. And that's going to be the emphasis for showers and thunderstorms as we head into your Friday. So we could see some storms over east central Texas, parts of Oklahoma, and western Louisiana as well. We're going to watch that developing situation where we could see those severe thunderstorms that could produce some tornadoes as well down across the southern plains and the southern portions of the Mississippi River Valley. So Louisiana definitely going to be under the gun for that very heavy rainfall and those tornadoes as well. So as we move into your Friday, we're going to see that those showers and storms expand all the way to west central Florida and Georgia. We're going to see that potential for that severe weather across the south, primarily East Texas, Louisiana, and Arkansas. We're going to see that severe weather potential be the greatest, where we have the threat for damaging winds up to 65 miles an hour with those severe storms, and some isolated tornadoes is going to be possible as well. So again, a late season severe weather threat. This is technically the fall severe weather season, because we typically see this pattern in fall and again in spring as that severe weather begins to ramp up. But we will see those severe thunderstorms develop across the south. So your Friday, Thursday night into Friday afternoon and evening, you're going to be running that risk for those severe storms. So please pay attention to those weather forecasts from your local television stations and the National Weather Service when you get those alerts for severe weather in your area, because it could be a fairly active afternoon tomorrow across parts of the south with that very heavy rainfall. That's pretty much a guarantee that you can see up to 5 or 6 inches of rain in some locations along the Gulf Coast. So much needed drought relief down across the south. You just don't need the severe weather. So here is the rainfall expectations across the south. We're going to see areas along the Gulf Coast pick up about 4 inches of rain for the most part. So the 2 to 4 inches on the high end, 1 to 2 inches in the light green. So if you're in those areas, we can still see some of that beneficial rainfall, but we want to worry about flash flooding in this dark green areas here down by the Mississippi River Delta along the Gulf Coast. There we're going to see that heavy rain over Lake Pontchartrain. So we can definitely see those low-lying areas see some flooding and flash flooding as well. Our severe weather threat is going to be kind of hit and miss and iffy. It's going to depend on a lot of ingredients coming together. We have a little bit, we're a bit shallow as far as the dew points are a little bit, they're in the 60s right now, but there are some parameters that really, we have a lot of capping in the atmosphere. So a very strong cap. We got a pretty decent CAPE, which is our convective available potential energy. So decent CAPE in the 2100 to 3000 joule kilogram per range. So that's pretty decent. And we have pretty good temperatures in the 70s and lower 80s, but we have a lot of CN, which is convective inhibition. So we have a very strong cap in the atmosphere. So those storms breaking through that cap will lead to those severe thunderstorms, but they have to break through that cap. So a lot of this is just going to be, it depends. But we do have that potential here in the orange or red or whatever that is to see the higher risk for severe weather. So there is a moderate risk for some severe weather in the reds, and the yellow, that is some rich or marginal risk for severe weather for those regions. So another stormy day across the south once again on this forecast. So that storm system just on the Gulf Coast is going to work its way toward the north and east along the Appalachian Mountain Range. It's going to move just a bit to the east of the mountains. So we're going to see heavy rain across the deep south, in the southeast, and up into the Carolinas, the Cape Hatteras. We're going to see that heavy rain and those thunderstorms progress through your Saturday and Sunday as well. So a bit wet weekend across the south, but it's much needed rainfall, and perhaps we won't have as big of an issue with severe weather. So meanwhile, on the west coast, we have an atmospheric river that's setting up, so we're going to see a series of storms work its way along the Pacific coast, particularly the Pacific Northwest. So Oregon and Washington, so Seattle, Portland, all the way down to San Francisco, we're going to see those showers along the coast. But however, in the mountains, we're going to see that heavy snow in the Cascades, the Sierra Nevadas, and the Northern Rockies. Heavier snow will fall over the Cascades and the Sierra Nevadas because they are west-facing mountain range facing the ocean, so that onshore flow is going to bring that moisture up against those mountains, and that is going to create what's called orographic lifting, and that's air being lifted up over the mountains. In the process of lifting that air over the mountains, you'll be able to squeeze more moisture out of those clouds. So that's going to lead to heavier rainfall amounts, heavier amounts of snow. Some areas will pick up as much as 65 inches of snow over the next several days because of that orographic lifting, particularly over the Cascade mountain ranges, where I think we can see the heavier snowfall amounts. So here is a look at some of those snowfall amounts that's expected. As you can see right in here where these deep purples are, that's where we're going to see those heavier amounts of snow in the Cascade mountain range, particularly through Oregon and maybe again through parts of Washington as well. We're going to see that heavy snow. We're going to see snow in the Rockies, but not as much, nearly as much as we're going to see here as far as the western mountains is concerned, facing the ocean and the valleys there toward the ocean, because again, orographic lift. Most of the moisture is going to fall on the west side of the mountains, and whatever's left is going to make it to the east side, but we're going to see much lighter snowfall totals in the 4, 5, maybe 6 inch range, and some of the higher elevations of the northern Rockies as we work through this weekend. So again, heavy rain is going to be a big problem along the west coast there. Seattle, Portland, down to San Francisco, we could pick up a few inches of rain through the weekend as well. So Friday through Sunday, a couple of inches, maybe 3 inches in some locations is possible along the coast. We're going to see higher rainfall amounts in the hills or the foothills of the Cascades in the Sierra Nevada. We're going to see maybe up to 6, 7, 8 inches of rain in the foothills below the snow line. So where that snow demarcation line is, we're going to see heavier rainfall, but north of that line, we'll see heavy snow. So you will see that rain and snow this weekend. And as we move into your Sunday, another storm system is going to come on shore. This one's going to be a little bit warmer, so we're not going to see as much snow over the Cascades with this storm system. More rainfall for everybody, but we will see snow over the northern Rockies. So Idaho and Montana, down to parts of Colorado, Wyoming, and Utah, maybe northern Arizona, not Arizona, but northern Utah, and parts of northern Nevada, where we could see some snow. But this is going to be a warmer storm coming from the central Pacific, more tropical areas, but this is going to have heavier rain, but less snow with this storm system. So as we look at our flooding risk, we're going to see the potential there for heavy rain in Puget Sound, northern Washington, Seattle, down to Portland. We're going to see that potential for the heaviest rainfall, where we have a higher risk for flooding in the foothills of the Cascade Mountain Range near Olympia, Bend, Oregon. We're going to see that potential for heavier rain. Drier weather will take place over central California and into the Great Basin and through parts of Idaho, as we look at your Monday into Tuesday with that big storm that's going to come on shore Sunday. But it's going to be dry over the Great Basin and up to parts of Idaho and Utah. So you're not going to worry about much with that system, as most of that energy is going to be forced focus on Washington and into British Columbia, Canada. So that is a look at your weather forecast. I'm meteorologist Mr. G with the forecast for you guys today. Thank you for watching me. Leave a like, comments, and subscribe to YouTube and TikTok. The views have been really awful lately. I just kind of wonder sometimes if this is even worth doing, but I know I'm practicing my skill set, so I'm not worried so much about the views. But I've been in the single digits in this, or lower double digits. Typically, I might pick up a few hundred views on YouTube, but it's been really bad. I don't know what's going on. I think it wants me to do lives, and I don't really do a lot of lives unless I feel like a narcissist doing lives, so I really do. That's why I don't really do them. I just can't help to feel like I'm some kind of a narcissist up here. Oh, look at me, I'm doing live. Well, I'm not on the news yet. When I'm on the news and I'm being paid to be on the news, then we'll worry about that. But for right now, we're going to do these videos and we're going to do the best we can with it, okay? So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Leave your likes, comments, and concerns. Bye-bye.